Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic start to your week. To kick this week off here on my channel, we're gonna take a journey through a new perfume together. And the fragrance we're discussing today is the brand new Ellis Brooklyn Guava Granita. I recently picked this up during the most current Sephora Spring Savings event. I actually had a few different fragrances in my Sephora cart when I shared my wish list with you guys. Now, after getting some feedback and chit-chatting with a few of you a little bit more in depth over on Instagram in the DMs, I decided to go ahead and make some changes. And one of the fragrances that was actually not on my radar at first was this Guava Granita. But after I deleted a couple of other fragrances from my cart, I was like, still am craving a couple new fragrances. So I looked through what was new and this one popped up and I was like, oh, how did I miss this one? I am personally a huge fan of Ellis Brooklyn fragrances. Two of my holy grails from the brands are Raven, which is unfortunately now discontinued, but you can still get this slightly spicy amber from a few different retailers at actually a pretty decent discount at this point. So if you want to try Ellis Brooklyn Raven, I'll have this one linked down below as well. But the other favorite from the brand for me is definitely their Myth. This was actually the first fragrance that I tried from Ellis Brooklyn and I've fallen in love with it. This is a fantastic year-round fragrance and one that I frequently receive compliments on. Myth is just incredibly fresh and just very clean smelling. I think this is a very universally liked fragrance. This one I think is a little bit more specific probably to whether you like a heavy dose of amber or not. I also happen to think that this one is a great unisex fragrance. So if you are looking for a fragrance that you could potentially even share with your partner, Raven would be one of my #1 suggestions for that. It's a stunner. I love it. I especially love this one during the fall and the winter, but I think for me, Myth has always been more of like a spring summer type fragrance just because of its freshness and how clean it smells. But both of these, if you've never tried them, definitely big fat thumbs up. So I really enjoy Ellis Brooklyn fragrances in general, but I was very excited about a fruity option from them. So we're gonna go ahead and discuss this one today. I am sorry to say that while the fragrance here is absolutely heavenly, I am having a problem with this one, and we'll discuss that when we get to the overall wear of the perfume. So, but we're gonna start out by reading through the description, reading through the fragrance notes. I'm gonna tell you what my nose actually detects in this. We'll discuss the overall wear time, the projection, and I'm gonna let you know whether I'm gonna keep this or return it. So let's go ahead and dig in. So I will have this linked at the top of the description box. Feel free to go read up a little bit more about the fragrance yourself. So far, it is getting really, really good reviews, but I feel like my experience is just a little bit different from some of these reviews, and it's very surprising to me because I've never really had an issue with wear time when it comes to these two Ellis Brooklyn fragrances. So I hope that something wasn't changed in their formulation with this one. Okay, so the fragrance family that Guava Granita falls into is florals, specifically fruity florals. Your keynotes here are guava juice, banana, and it was the banana that sucked me in because I don't think I have any fragrances in my collection right now that really have any banana in them. The closest that I think I've ever gotten is probably the Vacation Sunscreen Company, their Vacation Eau de Toilette. I believe that had banana in it, and I'm pretty sure I remember loving that in there. So that's kind of what caught my attention with this Guava Granita. There's also vanilla. So So their fragrance description here reads, lush escapist, touching down in Palm Springs. This fruity floral perfume features a blend of tropical fruity goodness, so guava, banana, mango blossom, Cavalian melon. I have actually never heard of this melon. Hopefully I said that correctly. And a rich underpinning of vanilla, sandalwood, and almond milk. Guava Granita transports you to a luxe getaway that's equal parts playful fun and modern chic. So, first of all, love the color of the bottle here. It just has the most beautiful shade of guava. I would call this guava here. Just really, really pretty. Obviously, I have the travel size here. If you are new to my channel, I have a personal policy just for right now because my fragrance collection was getting super out of control. I have a policy of purchasing travel sizes first. And if I happen to fall in love with a fragrance, I do allow myself to purchase the full size at some point, but I really, really have to love that fragrance in order to do that. So, and right now I honestly have a pretty long list of full sizes that I want to purchase here in the near future. And as I start finishing up more of my full-sized fragrances that are currently in my collection, I will be allowing myself to bring those other full sizes in. So anyway, that is why I always start with these travel sizes now. If you are someone who also has an extensive perfume collection, I encourage you to start out with the smaller sizes. I know it can be incredibly tempting to always buy the full size bottle because if you already know you're gonna love it, you might as well put the money that you were going to spend, which in this case, what does this travel size go for? I think it was $33. Yeah, it was $33 for how many ounces? 0.33 fluid ounces. So believe me, I do the math. You know, if I really loved this, it would have probably been smart to just put that $33 towards the full size. But again, it's also about the space that I have available to store this stuff. And there's limited space. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig into this one and let's discuss these fragrance notes a little bit more in detail. I do appreciate the really nice sprayer that comes with this one. So you get a nice atomizer that doesn't give you a huge splat. It just gives you a really nice distribution of the fragrance. Now, I did moisturize my skin this morning with an unscented moisturizer so that my skin would be more willing to accept and hold on to fragrance. If you are really struggling with your perfume staying put, one of the first things that you need to look at is whether your skin is hydrated or moisturized or not. Hydrated skin will hold onto fragrance a lot longer. So especially if you have really dry skin, put on that moisturizer first, preferably unscented, but if you can find something that would complement this, definitely do that. Hemp's actually at one point had a really yummy banana lotion. I don't know if it's still in their lineup, but that would be a great base for this one, to be totally honest, if you were looking for a fragranced body lotion to apply prior to applying your fragrance. So the fragrances in this, again, or the notes, if you will, are guava juice, banana, vanilla, mango blossom, the Cavalian melon, vanilla, sandalwood, and almond milk. So what do I smell here? When I first apply this, I really get a heavy dose of that really sweet tropical guava. And also immediately after that guava is that banana. This is a really nice banana, you guys. It's not overly sweet, but it is definitely a sweeter scent. If you are someone who just doesn't enjoy sweet scents, you should probably just stay away from this one. There are some floral components, but there's not enough floral to make this floral heavy or floral prominent. This is a very tropical fruity scent. and it's that guava and that mango that immediately hit you. Now, I do definitely get those mango blossom notes. So there is this kind of really light, sweet, tropical floral that you pick up, but I would not consider this a floral scent really at all. This is mostly predominantly fruity. Now, as this dries down, by the way, I don't get anything in the way of melon here. Maybe a little tiny bit of the melon rind, like just a little touch of green to balance some of the sweetness here. But as this dries down, that vanilla really starts to develop. And it is a really nice vanilla bean. There's also the sandalwood and that almond milk note. The sandalwood is probably a slightly sweeter sandalwood than I'm normally used to, but it does just add a little bit of depth to the fragrance so that you're not just getting straight up tropical fruitiness. There's definitely some depth here at the base. And there's a little bit of creaminess that's also coming from the almond milk note. It's almost if you took like vanilla bean pods and mixed them in with almond milk. It's that like creamy vanilla almond sweetness and creaminess that you're getting here at the base. And it blends so well with that banana and so well with that guava, you guys. Is this a sweet fragrance? Yes. Do I think it's cloying? I don't, but also I'm just naturally someone who enjoys sweeter scents. Listen, if you think you're going to be sensitive to the sweetness in this one, I would hit up Sephora first before placing an order for it blind and just checking it out prior to purchasing. Obviously, you can return it if it doesn't work out for you, but I always encourage you to try to get your nose into a fragrance prior to purchasing if you're just not sure about it. And if there's any notes here that are a little bit iffy to you, I would say hold off and wait until you can smell it in person. Now, let me tell you, I love the fragrance. I love this scent. This is so delicious, you guys. I'm a big fan of everything that's happening here fragrance-wise. And immediately after initial application, I really love the experience. I even like the fragrance after it fully dries down on my skin. But I would say within 2 hours, this is completely gone from my skin. And like I said, I am applying this fragrance on top of very hydrated skin, and I cannot smell it after 2 hours. That is not my experience with Raven or Myth. These stay put on my skin for several hours each. I would say Raven probably has even better staying power than Myth, but I've never thought about these two fragrances in terms of having them be something that I have to apply frequently throughout the day. This, I would absolutely have to continue to reapply. And I don't think it's a situation of going nose blind, because I also picked up another travel size that we're gonna discuss a little bit later on this week. This is the Love Shack Fancy Love on the Beach. This one, I don't have an issue with the lasting power at all, but within 2 hours, you guys, this is gone from my skin, which is crazy. Now, I also have sprayed a little bit of it onto my clothing. I think it actually lasts longer on my clothing than it does on my skin, but I'm not impressed with this lasting power at all, which is a major bummer, because this is a fantastic summertime fragrance. So for me, I'm still not 100% sure whether I'm just gonna go ahead and return this at this point, or whether I'm gonna keep it and just, you know, spray it on my clothing. It is fortunately only a smaller size, and I do like the scent. I just feel like even for $33 minus the 20% off that I got, I feel like I'd like to see some lasting power if I'm going to even invest, you know, that amount in a product like this. I would like it to at least stay put for somewhere around 4 hours, and it's just not happening. So overall, This was a little bit of a womp womp for me, even though the fragrance itself is delightful. If it doesn't stay put on my skin, then that's an issue for me. This is an eau de parfum formulation, so there really should be better lasting power than what there is with this one. So anyway, I would love to know what you guys think about Guava Granita. If you've tried it, if you find that you actually have better lasting power on your skin, let me know in the comments down below. Definitely take a look on the Sephora website. The reviews have been fantastic. Like, the reviews have been really good. So I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but if this is not gonna last on my skin, I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of money. So anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on the brand new Ellis Brooklyn Guava Granita. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'll have it linked at the top of the description box. I'll also link these two. I'm telling you, there is no problem with staying power with these two. And they're beautiful fragrances. If you like the scent profiles, I would probably direct you in the way of those versus the Guava Granita at this point. So, all right, I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, stay tuned for the review of the latest Love Shack Fancy fragrance, which is Love on the Beach. This one's really beautiful, so I can't wait to share this one with you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.